Hi, okay, there's construction going on at my house, and this is a quiet a quiet window moment. That's what I was just gonna say. This is a quiet moment where I can talk to you, and I'm very happy to do so because wow, I have been flying on my project recently. And this is why I really encourage you in your own projects to let your beginnings be slow and to employ as much as you can a trust in yourself and permission for it to go slow. Because at a moment like this, it's like the arrow being loosed. Like we've been slowly gathering information, thinking about the story, putting all the stuff together in a document, making it available for when I'm like, ready to work on it, not there yet, not there yet, not there yet. Now I am like working on it. I have a full outline for the first book. There are 3 books in this series. I don't know if I mentioned that to you already. Because if I don't split it up into books, it's going to become a massive tome that nobody wants to buy. So, to avoid overwhelming you and me, it's 3 different books. So I have a full outline for the first book. I'm getting into details now because I've got all the broad strokes. I've got 18 chapters going so far. There might be 1 or 2 more because it's going to have to expand with detail going in there. And I'm feeling great about it, actually. I just love this story so much. I think it's going to be so beautiful and fun to draw. And I've even started drawing it, only a little bit, but I'll show you because I'm getting a lot of mileage out of my new skills in Procreate. Ta-da! These are my zero draft pages for the prologue. It's only 20 pages long. Actually, I think I've got 21 in here, which is good. But it's a beautiful tool that I'm getting more and more comfortable with to be able to jump into Procreate and just like do a pencil sketch of each page and then see them like this, see them laid out so I can actually read the sequencing of like how does this flow feel and how does it feel as like a tapestry. So I'm loving that, and some of the zero drafting has turned into actually drawing it. Trying to decide whether or not Procreate is going to be the final, but I think for now having Procreate be the way that I determine just how all the pages will look and have like a zero draft beginning to end is the goal, because then I'll be able to see the whole book very smoothly in this program, and I can do that anywhere and any time. I can go sit on the couch and sketch, or I can be in here. I've got this nice little it's like a tabletop easel. So it's just got like a little arm on the back, and I can put my iPad on there, and then okay, I don't know why it's being funny, but I can work at an angle with the iPad so that it's not wow, I don't know what's going on here. There we go. I was in like a preview mode or something. So that it's not a bad posture that I'm using. Like I can sit up and I can draw instead of hunching over the flat desk, which is what I would normally do. Anyway, the setup is good. The vibes are great. Like I can't do my job right now. I can't talk every day. So I've turned into this like wild art making hermit while also there's construction going on here at my house, which is so loud. But I pop on my noise canceling headphones. These are fucking indispensable. Noise canceling headphones go on. I've got podcasts in here, familiar old ones, so that I don't feel drawn away from my own story. Sorry about the dog. And I just go, and I'm fucking loving it. Truly, I'm loving it. Let me see if I can get Bug to stop by just thinking at him. Hey, Bug. I don't know. He's going to do his own thing. But what I wanted to talk about today is that this progress feels amazing. I feel like proud of myself and delighted by the work, and I'm getting into it, and I'm sending it to my agent this week, and it's just like, whoa, where did this flow come from? Honestly, it came from all the prep. It came from the fact that I've been thinking about this comic for 3 years, and the thinking about it is really key for me. Like I have to sort of mull it over and consider it and let it sort of wander in and out of my mind. And then I started the Chaos document, which I've shown to you before here. I think there's another video you can go access just to look at that document. That document got organized. It started turning into a bit of an outline. I've got images. I've got formal things that I'm going to put into it. It's all just been brewing in this place. But the other piece that I wanted to talk about that's super, super important because it's such a joy in my process right now is I've been collecting source documents. So tons of werewolf movies, watched all of those right at the beginning. I've been buying books. Even sometimes it's felt a bit like insane for me to buy the books that I'm buying, but it is a part of my process, and I'm sure other people would just get them from the library or whatever. But for me, books are friends. I want a library in my home. It's one of my favorite things to have books all around all the time. So I've been buying books for the last 3 years, books that relate to wolves in general, to werewolves, to Newfoundland history, to Newfoundland geography and identity, to Indigenous culture, because that's relating very deeply to my story. Books about how animals experience their senses in the world, books about the human nervous system. What else have I got going on? Oh, books about trans identity, trans history. So it's fiction books about trans experiences. It's zines people have written, especially Fucking Trans Women by Mira Bellwether is like one of the best zines I've ever seen in my life. It's so generous and beautiful and just open. I love it. I love it so much. Books about the history of trans folks and also how they are perceived in the world. So gender stuff, gender studies stuff. Sound studies, because there's this sound theme going on in the book as well. So all of those things I gathered to me, and I had like podcasts about horror, about how horror relates to psychology, books that I'm reading that are just fiction, but like I'm trying to take notes on for like how does this carry me through a story? How do people do creepy things in books? I've got some horror fiction novels that are just there because I want to learn how we're having those conversations about what scares us and what kind of like imagery comes present when we're doing that. It's so much fun. Like I've been 3 years of collecting books, and no, I'm not reading all of them cover to cover. I really want you to know this. Part of the preparation for being in this moment where I feel like I can just go is that I brought the materials close to me and I had all the notes there so that they were in roughly one place. And whenever I feel inspired, I follow that inspiration. So if I'm inspired to read Whipping Girl by Julia Serano because I want to understand how femininity is so brutalized in our culture and how that then is applied to trans women or trans feminine people, I will pick it up. I will read a chapter. It will hit me. It will probably hurt. It will make me think. And then I'll be like, whoa, I need time to digest that. And then I'll take notes and I'll put them in my chaos document. But I will let myself put it down, and I won't pick it up again until I feel inspired again, or until I feel like there's a curiosity that needs to be resolved there. I do the same thing with all of the different books that I've collected all throughout this preparatory period and while I'm making it. And that gives me a flow that isn't judged by the tyranny of needing to be an expert in any of these topics. Like, I'm not going to prevent myself from writing because I don't know every fucking thing about each of the topics that I'm touching on. That is useless. That won't get me anywhere. So where I'm at right now, even this morning, I was like, okay, I've written this prologue. I've like drawn out the prologue. I think I know exactly what I want to say about this. There's a section, there's like 2 pages in the prologue that are focusing on a wolf's sensation as they sniff and listen and smell like through the woods. And I've got this book called An Immense World by Ed Yong that's looking at how animal senses work. And suddenly I'm like, maybe I'll pick that up, see if anything in there brings me an image or an idea or some clarity or something that I could actually, share with the world, put in there as like a moment of learning for other people if it's a moment of learning for me. I also have a book called Of Wolves and Men, which was actually written in like I think it was the 70s or 80s, but is still apparently quite highly regarded. So I might pick that up as well, just to be like, is there something in here? Are there images in here? Is there something that might feel connected to this moment that I'm drawing? And then I'll just do like, Google image searches, looking at the forest outside my house and then searching a wolf and trying to figure out, I'm going to base this on the Newfoundland wolf, which is a specific species of wolf that went extinct in 1930 or possibly 1911, or possibly never, because we didn't have tracking technology back then like we do now, and so we might have just assumed the wolf was extinct without actually knowing. And how much can we know? Oh my God, science, the world. Anyway, I'm having a very passionate and wonderful moment of feeling aligned with my story and ready to work on it. And it's because of all that prep, and it's because I've given myself permission to flow in and out of different stages of working, to have incomplete knowledge when I begin, and then to use the work itself as a way of basically guiding how I'm living day to day, how I'm living in connection with myself, how I'm living in connection with this information, with the story, and then with my own curiosity to like go outside of my lived experience to find more that could inform the richness of this tale that I'm trying to tell. So it's happening. It's really happening. And this is exactly what I mean by make comics or make your art for yourself instead of for other people. I don't just mean for yourself as an audience member. I mean for yourself and the life you will live and the moments you will experience as you make it. Because right now I'm feeling the most connected to me, the most like joyful and curious about the world, and the most excited by the process of just moving my pen on the page or my stylus on the screen. It's a lot of it's learning. It's a lot of learning, but it's just, this is me getting to express those values of mine in the world every day, and to feel in harmony with my own values is also very relaxing in my body, and it means I'm, eating better and I'm appreciating what I have more. All of those things are really beautiful. So it's not just about making it for me as a reader, but it's about making it for me to have the life that I want while I do. And I'm literally blown away that it's happening right now. Like I'm touched, and I feel a bit like, feel the tenderness of like maybe cry, maybe want a little cry about it in my body, because it's just the gratitude I feel at my situation and at the things that I've built for myself, like at the gratitude I feel towards myself yesterday and the day before, and the person who has created this life is just like immense. So, wow, this is a good update. And there will actually be more soon, because I'm going to have to get this thing out into the world. So it's like, we're on.